beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you guys in detail how I do my own SNS nails with an extension. I hope you like this video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll thank you again in advance for watching.
When I bought this kit, it comes, I mean, certain things I got separately, but what you need when you're going to start doing your nails is, I have my little box here, and inside of it has my brush cleaner. It's a little bit used and old, but it's got my brush cleaner, it's got the top coat, it's got the gel, what's this? The gel base. So the gel base is basically when you're using a color, so I'll be using that today. Then you've got the normal, the super gel base, which is basically what you use when you're using all the clear powders, like white tips and yeah, just clear powders, and when you're going to do your base before you do your color. Then you've got the dry sealant. This is important because this is what dries the color and the SNS once you've finished. And then I've got my EA Bond, so that dries the nail when you do your nails, okay? And then on top of it, I've also got my glue. So when doing like tips and stuff like that, like, you know, extension tips, which is what I'm going to also do today. So this is the glue that they give you. It's so strong, so you literally only need a tiny little bit, and you can see it's in a proper full bottle. It's very used so you can see that this will last me a long time. Okay, so this is my essentials first, and then I'm just going to show you what else I need. So I will be using the natural set. The natural set is basically used like a base coat before you start applying any color or whatever. Then you've got the sheer powder, which basically seals everything together. Yeah, when you're done, and then you add the dry sealant on top. And the color I'm going to use today is this little nudie color here. I really like it. It's something very neutral. So this is the color I'm going to be using today. It comes out kind of pinkish, but neutral. So it kind of, yeah, I like it. It's nice. And then the other essentials you're going to need is, I've got my nail file, my brush for when I'm brushing away all the dust. It's some old makeup brush that I use for it. And then I've also got my extension cutter. Okay, so these is what I use. And then I've got my nail extension tips. So these are what I'll be using today to do the nails. Okay, so I've already gone and filed my nails, but as you can see, they're in kind of bad condition. Also, I forgot to mention that when doing your SNS nails as well, you are going to need these little filers, buffing filers, because that is also what you need to help the powder bond to your nails. So this is also a necessary part to the process. Okay, so just gonna buff them down. So okay, so I've buffed my nails down. I'm just gonna use my brush and dust off any dust that's on my hands. So I get asked quite a lot, like, how do you do your own nails, Chevon? Blah, 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 blah. So I thought this would be such a good video to show people that do ask me regularly, like, guys, if you want to know, go check out my channel, you know? So yes, I am right-handed. So when it comes to applying things using my right hand, it can be a bit, you know, like difficult, but I'm so used to it that I'm not even fussed. Okay, so now I'm gonna be applying the tip. So what we're gonna need now is the kit, is the tips and the glue that I showed you guys earlier. Okay, so I'm just gonna measure my nails to see what size goes with what, and then I'll glue them onto my nails. Okay, and that's it, guys. That's me and my nails. Okay, I've all added the tip and everything already. So I got my Cardi B nails on. Like, honestly, I don't even know. Like, I can't even, anyways, whatever. So that's me done for this part of the treatment. So now what I'm gonna do is just close my glue. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut the tips, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and use my little nail cutter thing here and just basically go ahead and measure how long I wanna have the nail. So for me, I can't have it that long, but I'm gonna go just a little inch over. So that's me. That's roughly about the length that I wanna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and cut all of the nails an inch away, or literally half an inch away from what my original nail length is, because I know for a fact that I'm gonna have to file that down a little bit lower anyway. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I'm just gonna measure to make sure that they're all the same length. Okay, now they're all the same length. The next step is to kind of, for me anyway, I always go in with my nail file and kind of file around the corners. See, the shape that I normally like is called the coffin shape. So the coffin shape basically is where the corners of your nails are a little bit more in, and then the top of it is a bit more, is basically straight. But I didn't want to do a full coffin, so I literally just wanted to kind of bring the corners in a little bit more. So I basically filed it to the shape that I like, and then I've also kind of buffed it as well so that I can then show you the full SNS process, okay? Now, the first thing that you need is the, first thing that you need is the natural set, okay? So the natural set is basically the base coat, all right? So with the natural set, you then use the super gel base, okay? So when you have tips on, okay, it's important that there's 4 stages to applying before you actually then go onto the color. So the first step would be you put it across the line of where you've added the tip so that you don't get that, what's the word, like it make it look like you've added a tip. You want it to look as natural as possible. If you was doing a French, then you'd do that because then it blends all together. But because I am putting a full solid color, then it's not really that important. So before applying this, I then first put my EA Bond. That dries the nail for me to then apply the powder and the gel together. Okay, so I put this all over. You don't have to put it all over the nail. It just has to be where your actual natural nail is to bond and dry your nail from all of its protein. Okay, so first things first is, now, what I'm gonna do is I'm not using the tissue that I actually recommended for you guys at the beginning because I have no more. So I'm just gonna use like a normal little piece of tissue just to kind of wipe. It's gonna look a bit scatty, but such is life. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply the gel base. Now you can tell that this kit is very used because it's almost done, so I need to get another one, but okay, so firstly, what I do is I use the same amount I've taken out for the whole hand. So a thin line across the nail like that, dip it in, tap, tap, done, let that dry. And I continue to do that for the entire hand. Now I'm just going to continue doing the rest of my nails because you know that basically I'm just building it up the entire nail until it's completely covered, okay? So that first layer is done, gonna continue with the rest. Okay, so now I've done the base for my nails. Okay, as you can see, this really, SNS is the most messiest, it's messy work, you know, especially when you're doing it on your own, but it is so good. Okay, so now the first part is done. Now I'm gonna go on to doing the gel powder color. Okay, so I only done 3 coats because I didn't want my nails to come across too thick. You know, the whole like acrylic type feeling on the nail, I didn't want that feeling. I kind of wanted it to feel like it is my nails naturally. So yes, I'm just gonna dust off the excess powder. Okay, so now I'm moving on to this purple lid, which is the jealous base. Okay, so when they say jealous, it goes with jealous base, jealous color. Okay, so they go together as a team. All right, you cannot use the purple. I mean, you can, but it's not gonna work. Okay, it's better to just use the purple jealous color with the jealous nail gel. Okay, so these two work as a team, and the SNS base now goes away. I won't be using. So now I'm gonna go on with the color. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my right hand, obviously, and then I'll show you how it comes out. Okay, look, this is the good part. Got to make sure that this gel covers the entire nail on the first paint, okay? Because then if you don't, it is annoying for the remainder of the treatment. I count 5 seconds and then I take the nail out, tap, 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 and that's the color. Don't know if you can see it, but that's the color of how it's coming out, okay? I'm gonna go ahead with the other ones now. Next thing I do is just kind of get rid of all the excess dust, okay? Just because we don't want the excess dust to mess up when applying the sheer and also when applying the top coat. Okay, now I'm gonna add the sheer. So remember I was saying that the sheer basically is just a clear coat that goes over the color to basically seal everything together. And with using that, you can use the jealous nail base, okay? So you can use the purple lid gel base, which basically to seal everything in. So as you can see, I didn't even need to like do anything, but just literally paint, dip, and on repeat. Seal it all together. But this process ain't done yet until you add the dry sealant. Okay, the dry sealant, if I was to knock my nail or anything, the whole powder would just come off. Okay, so that's why the dry sealant after is important, because now the dry sealant goes on, that nail was dry. Okay, so I paint the whole hand. As you can see, my one they're not coughing. I just kind of use that as an example to what I like. So basically now the edges are kind of built up a little bit. So what I do now is basically use my file again, okay, file around the corners to the shape that I desire, then buff it with my buffing block to smooth the top so it's nice and smooth. And then once I've done that, I'll add my top coat, which then obviously will then dry and make the nails look shiny. Okay guys, so basically I went ahead and I filed and I buffed my nails, and you can see them up close. This is my nails. Oh my god, I got nails. Okay, so basically we've done them all. So now the process is basically to put the dry sealant on, which is this. Now the dry sealant, basically you put that on first and then you go ahead with your top coat. Now the reason why you put the dry sealant on first is because it basically makes your top coat dry under a minute. So literally, when I say to you, I could put this on and then paint my nail with the top coat, and then after literally 30 seconds it's dry. The only con from this pro is that you have to be super fast when applying the top coat, because the second that this dry sealant gets inside this hair top coat, it's game over. You're not going to be able to use this top coat anymore. So that's why it's super important. So I'm going to basically apply without talking, but this is my nails and I'll show you how it looks with the top coat on them. All right.
Okay guys, so this is the final look. This is my nails complete using the SNS method. I hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Follow me on social media as well so you can see all my pictures. Comment down below if you like my video, and any questions I'm happy to answer. Thanks again for watching guys. See you in my next video.